What's up, everyone? This video is about muscle fatigue, soreness, and program design, really. So, to begin, muscle fatigue, DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. This you usually feel. This is the soreness that you feel after weight training, and it usually occurs 24 to 48 hours after your training session. Most of the DOMS is because of an eccentric or lengthening type exercise or movement, but we're going to talk about what exactly is happening in the muscle that causes this pain. So first, when let's say you're doing a bench press, you're really stretching out those cross bridges and really ripping them apart. So you have your structural damage that occurs first. Sorry about this glare, I can't really do anything about it, but so you have structural damage occurring in the muscle itself. And through that damage, you have calcium leaking out of the sarcoplasmic reticulum, the thing that just covers all the muscles and the fibers. With that leaking out of the calcium, it's going to build up, and that buildup will activate enzymes that break down protein. And this activation of enzymes and the breakdown of the protein will cause an inflammatory process, which will cause an accumulation of histamines, potassium. You'll see edema, swelling in the muscle, you'll see a little bit bigger the day after, and prostaglandins. And that accumulation of all those is going to stimulate pain receptors in your body, which will make you feel real sore the next day. Some people feel really bad. If you do legs, you can't walk. So this is what's happening in the muscle when you're doing strength exercises. And this occurs most with eccentric type exercises, negative reps, which is, right now it's thought to be the best way to build up muscle, doing eccentrics. You can feasibly have a day just full of eccentrics, but it shouldn't be, like every week you do eccentric, you cycle it. But along with this, I'd like to talk about program design. So generally, if you want to build strength, you're going to want to have your compound exercises or your multi-joint movements like bench press, deadlift, squats, earliest in your day, your training day, and focus on the small single joint isolation movements after, maybe a couple at the end of the day. This is because you have the least amount of damage and the most energy, ATP, in the muscle. So you're strongest and you're training the heaviest at this point. But if you wanted to build size, and that was your main goal, you can focus more on the isolation movements, like the bicep curls or like the flies, the real fine-tuning movements first if you wanted, or mix them in. But that's more for hypertrophy. So if you have a certain goal, either size or strength, order it in a way that is linear to your goals, I guess. But you can build strength and size at the same time. It may take a little bit longer. It may take the same amount of time. I'm not really sure. It's just based off experience. I think it takes a little bit longer from my own experiences. But, because a stronger muscle is typically a bigger muscle or thicker muscle because of the cross-sectional area. But so to wrap up, if your main goal is strength training, focus on your compound movements first, and add in a couple isolation movements after. Or if your main goal is just straight up size, you don't really care about the weight you're pushing, isolation first, but you definitely should always have compound movements. It will work the most amount of muscle, work the strongest, you move the heaviest weight, so take that into consideration when you plan your workouts from now on. Inszquii Nation.